Awoooooo! Hey, all you werewolves, creatures, zombies, vampires. Welcome.
Aliens.
Yeah, I'm Jacob Bellotti, joined as always by Larry Saperstein.
Hello.
And welcome to Let's Talk About That.
All systems are a go.
Talking database activated.
Begin in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what? Let's talk about who? Let's talk about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about that. Girl, I cannot believe we are talking about that.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's play a quick game of Name That Tune.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just gonna sing some tunes to you.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna tell me what they're from.
Yeah.
Okay? Here's the first one.
That is the Wizard City theme of Wizard 101.
And how do we know that?
We've been playing Wizard 101. We're
Yes,
back.
We're back. We're back into it.
We're back online.
It's been
Let
fun,
us know if you
honestly.
want us to stream it. Maybe we could figure that out.
Okay, I understand this is a children's game, but I will stream it.
I mean, if you want that, leave it in the comments and let us know.
Yeah.
Because I've been having a blast.
I know we talk about Wizard 101 maybe too much on this podcast, so
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah.
But previously we were just like watching videos of it, but now we're like
We're in it.
Now we're in it.
We're in it. I can't wait to play later today.
Oh, we will be playing later today. And then here's another one. Do 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 do. I don't remember how the rest of it goes, but I'll give you a hint. It's from the movie of our guest today.
Is it Call to the Wild?
No, I think it's Run the Night. It's the other one. We're wolves. We run the night.
Yep.
I don't remember how the rest of that song goes.
Definitely remember that.
But that is how that part goes.
Well, anyway, our guest today.
Our guest today is a lovely, lovely person.
He is. He's awesome. He was the star of Zombies 2 and Zombies 3
Yes.
on Disney. He has just done a new movie with Nick Offerman.
Yes.
That will be coming soon somewhere.
Coming soon. And, you know, he falls among the ranks of straight people that we enjoy.
Yes.
You know what I
There's not
mean?
many, and he is one of them.
Yes, there's not many, but you know, part of it is his lasting friendship with Matt Cornett.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So former roommate.
Yes.
Former roommate of Matt Cornett. Hey, we're giving the lore.
We're giving the lore.
We're giving the lore.
We're planting the seeds so that you have all the information going into our next segment. So please welcome Pearce Joza right after this. Pearce! Welcome to Let's Talk About That.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here.
I appreciate it. I'm very happy to be here.
You're part of our zombie saga that we've unintentionally been doing.
I've seen that
But-
now. It's a plan. Now you've masterminded a plan without even knowing that you did.
Yes.
I know.
Well, you know, we had Julian from Zombies 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to Terry, Zombies 3.
Yeah.
And now we have you, Zombies 2. Well,
Yeah.
2 and 3.
And 3.
But
Now we
you
gotta
know,
get someone who's
introduced
in
Zombies
one.
2.
So
yeah.
we
Hopefully.
we have the
hopefully-
whole
Next time, yes.
the whole
Backwards, of
saga.
course.
Yeah.
Yes, going backwards.
How are you doing?
Absolutely excellent. It's
Yeah.
it was pouring rain out there. What can make a happier day? It's been
Yeah.
over 3 days in a row and 5 more days of it, and we'll be out of it.
And we'll
I
be-
know.
Do you play any games? Like when it's raining?
Yeah, I honestly I do, but I just got back in town. I've just been texting my friends. We should get together tonight. Matt, actually, king of games,
Of course.
king of games.
Matt Cornett.
Matt Cornett, yes. And I like the game of life. But specifically the Haunted Mansion, Disney Haunted Mansion's version of life. If you've never played it,
I didn't
Disney,
know
we
they
love you.
had that.
yes, we do love you.
Wait,
Disney.
that's so cool.
I've owned one since I was like a kid, like when it came out.
So instead of like getting a job, you know, working as a nurse, like you get a job working as like a ghost.
Yeah, well, I
'Cause
guess
don't you
what
pull
is
the
it? It's-
cards?
Yes, no, you totally do. Yeah, so you get what are like there's like coffin maker. They're of course all ghost themed. You know, like graveyard attendant and stuff like that. So
there you go.
Yeah. It's so awesome. By the way, I think this is true. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's true that in the Disney Haunted Mansion version Game of Life, you can make like the cards with the jobs have the most, like the highest salaries of any life ever made. So it's really fun because you can play this thing called a spin to win. And that's in all of them, but it's essentially like gambling on like a number, and you can just make oodles of money because you have so much to be able to
bank in life.
Yeah, to be able to spend.
Wow, I don't think I've played the Game of Life since I was young, but I did like it. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. It's so fun. I mean, Monopoly's cool too. Like Monopoly's a great game to play, but sometimes I feel like it can feel tedious for me. I don't know why.
What about the virtual ones? Do you play any video games?
Oh, yes, I do. In fact, I was just playing Red Dead Redemption last night. Too. I played
Jerome
one.
Like that one?
Yes. Our producer Jerome.
Jerome liked it. Yeah,
our friend and roommate.
I'll throw out a couple more. I just finished the entire BioShock series.
Okay.
If anybody likes video games, specifically story video games, not really like I don't really play like shooters. Maybe I did like when I was a kid a little bit, but I don't really do that. But I do like story video games, and BioShock. I think it might be my favorite. Seriously.
What?
We've been playing.
Well, so it's as you know, it's been rainy. We've been wanting to be indoors.
Yeah.
And we knew this was coming. So, and we've been talking about it for a while.
We've been playing Wizard 101.
Oh, of course.
You remember Wizard?
Yes, of course I remember Wizard 101. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I
Does
know.
it still operate? The servers are still up?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's actually having a resurgence in popularity right now
Oh.
because
They just put it on console.
yeah, they released it. So you still have to like
Pierce is getting his Wizard 101
you want
right
to know what
now.
to get me for Christmas, Mom?
if you want to get a Wizard 101, we'll play with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
What console are you on? That's the question.
Well,
and maybe it's cross-platform.
It is cross-platform.
but what console
Yeah.
are you on anyway?
Well, we have Switches.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
We're,
okay.
we're
and then
Nintendo people.
we do
Got you.
among the household. We do have a PS5.
Yes.
That's
but
the right
Jeremy's
answer.
been
That's
using
the
it.
right answer,
Yeah.
yes.
But we've just been playing on the computer.
Got you. Okay,
The
yes.
Wizard 101.
Honestly, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair enough. PCs.
But
So that's been our
we've getting
video
into
game binge
Yeah.
during the raid.
No, but
storms.
what else are you gonna do? You know, it's like everybody's man. You guys know I just drove. Maybe you don't know. I drove back down yesterday from San Francisco. I didn't fly in, so I drove back down on the 5 the whole way. And every 10 miles there was at least a crash or two.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
It was totally
God.
crazy. So it's like I don't want to be out like doing stuff, especially when it's pouring rain for like 7 days straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just either I'm in bed
It's
with my
just-
cat or I'm in front of the TV playing something.
Us
so
too.
I can't,
Us too. How old
I
is
can't
your
blame
cat?
that. How old is my cat?
Yeah.
She's a year and maybe like 3 months at this point.
oh,
Year and 2
cute.
months.
Still
Yeah, I
has
just got
the
her.
little, the young cat look.
Oh yeah.
We have a-
I thought you were gonna say energy, but she does look like a young cat still. but,
Energy
bro,
and look.
she's like
We have a little 4-year-old cat.
Yeah. Lawrence is
Here?
Not
Right
in this
now?
apartment.
He's in the other apartment.
Yeah.
I got you.
Do
I
you
feel like Lou Litt in what is it in Mad? Is it in Mad Men when he's like? Have you ever seen that clip of Lou Litt when he's in? I think it's in Mad Men. He's just like chewing somebody out, and then the other person's like brought a cat into work, and he's like, "Stop! Who is this divine creature?"
No, I never saw that. I never watched Mad Men all the way through. Did you?
No, I never finished that one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I feel like that's more of a straight people show.
Oh, gotcha,
and,
gotcha, gotcha.
and we're like,
That's not true. I mean, it was a big show. It was a big show.
Yeah, it was a
I
big
actually
show.
would expect you to have watched that.
I've seen some of it, but I can't.
I never finished it. But I did.
Right.
I did watch the first few seasons.
Wait,
you
so you
ever-
were?
Oh.
Sorry, you were just in Europe.
I was just got back 3 days ago now, and just drove back in. Yeah, I was there. So the reason I was there was I did a film last year. It's called Under the Lights. It's not out yet, and it's just been a labor of love trying to get it made for like 7 years. I've been involved in
Yeah.
the project.
Wow.
It's got really cool people in it. Nick Offerman's
Nick
in it.
Offerman. I think I saw about this.
Yeah,
Nick Offerman.
Randall Park, Mark Duplass. So we got
my
really
gosh.
lucky with all the people in it. So, yeah, it's a coming of age film. It's about
Yeah.
a kid with a pretty severe disability who kind of makes he sort of rages against his life and makes all the wrong decisions, and in doing that, sort of finds himself. And
Yeah.
so, while he's sort of hurting himself, you kind of come to find out, well, maybe it was necessary, maybe it was all for a purpose, and he, it ends up okay. But and so we were there it was the international premiere of the film.
Oh,
it was
wow.
in Poland.
Wow.
Of all
My
places,
goodness.
at a massive, I was stunned. I'd never heard of this before. It's called the American Film Festival, and it's in a place called Wrocław in Poland.
Come on,
I've
Wrocław.
been there.
In Wrocław?
Yes.
It's not that. Why were you there?
Isn't that what the place you were talking about last
Yes,
night?
it's the place I was talking about literally last because our friend's going to like Berlin next
going to
week.
Berlin.
And I was
whoa.
like, oh, you should take a trip up to Wrocław.
Wrocław, yeah.
And my God, I loved it. I was there because in college I studied abroad for like a year. And I was in France, but we did like a whole seminar where we went to Poland,
Yeah.
we went to Berlin, we went to Vienna. It was like literally a 3-credit class in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I went all over that whole region.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's beautiful there.
It was stunningly gorgeous. Totally. But really does feel like a different part of the world. A lot of we drove. Or I drove the whole time we were there. So I drove. We flew into Poland. We drove to Prague in the Czech Republic. Then drove to Berlin, and then drove from Berlin back to Wrocław.
Yeah.
And each very, very unique, very different. I mean, Prague was kind of crazy because it wasn't touched during World War II or even really World War One. And so it's all old, all of it, cobblestone
Right.
streets. But then Berlin was pretty
Right.
much destroyed. And
Right.
so
So it's all new.
Yeah, all new, all relatively modern. There's no real remnants, like there is in Prague. And so we saw this castle from 800 AD. And then next thing we were in Berlin, and it was like tall towers and all this stuff. And then Wrocław was felt a little Soviet in a way, in some ways.
Yes,
and then
it
either
does.
Soviet or very, very new.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of interesting, but it was
you
wild
really like
experience.
see the history when you're pretty much all over Europe.
Oh yeah,
but-
Yeah.
This summer we were in Paris and London and all over like France and
Yeah.
stuff. And it was his first time.
I'd never been to France.
Oh,
I'd been
really?
to
Yeah.
I had been to Italy. I'd been to Romania
Yeah.
because I went to a theater festival when I was in college that was in Romania, which
Yeah.
was random but cool.
Yeah.
But I'd never been to like true like Western Europe, like France, and we went to London as well, and I'd never been there either.
I've got a really good Paris story.
Oh yeah,
Let's hear
tell
it.
Paris story. Okay, so a couple years ago, my mom and my dad and I went to Paris. My dad is very, very big lover of French history and history in general. He was an archaeologist, and so finally he gets to go on this trip with us, and we're so excited. We're going to spend a day in Paris, and then we're going to go out to tour all the Normandy beaches. Right? That's what he was really interested in. But of course, he was interested in Paris as well. So our flights got delayed, and so we got in kind of really awkward time, and we didn't really get to eat on the flight, and it was sort of so we're all starving is the point. So we get there, and it takes a long time to rent the rental car, like an hour and a half to get this
Sure.
rental
Yeah.
car. And my dad, big guy, big Colorado guy, and he's like, hey, give me a steak, give me food. I need something. He gets hangry, right? And so he's like, I got to eat anywhere. And we're going around to these different restaurants, and there, I don't know what was happening. Packed out, couldn't get a seat. And we're just like, okay, move on
was
to the
just
next
a
one, move on to the
Tuesday
next one.
night.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what just happens in
Yeah.
Paris. So we're like, I'm just going to move on to the next one. Finally, we get to, tell me if I'm correct, like the Seine, the river
Yeah.
that goes
Yeah.
right, yeah. And so we see the Eiffel Tower, and my dad's like, I'd like to eat up there. I'm like, dude, we can't eat in the Eiffel Tower. Like, you need a reservation 6 months in advance.
Right.
And he goes, I'm just going to ask him. And we're like, oh, Lord, here we go. He asks, and they say, we have a table available right now. And we were like, whoa, like, okay, that sounds amazing. And so not dressed for it, just off the plane.
Sure.
Asked them to take our luggage at the front door. Like, oh my God. Actually, no, I think we left it in the car. So but still not looking great for an Eiffel Tower lunch. So we get up there, and they give us a beautiful table right by the window, looking over the river, looking over the city. It was gorgeous. And I have a picture of us, and so they bring bread immediately, right?
Yeah,
and my
of
dad.
course.
He's like, oh, I'm taking a piece, take a hunk out of it. And it was this really very lovely, flaky bread. And it was sort of not something that you just munch into.
Yeah.
And so right at the time, this young woman, she must have been I don't know, 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's a young French girl. She comes over, she's like, hello, can I take your picture? I'd love to take your picture, and I say yes. My dad takes a bite out of this thing. And he goes, so it gets caught in his throat. And so he's...
Oh my God.
It was so bad that they shut down, like they stopped operations in the restaurant. And it was me and one of the waiters smacking on his back for, I don't know, like 10, it felt like forever, but it wasn't all that long. And finally he coughed it up. It's all over the table. All these French people are kind of like,
my God.
fucking American, you know, like, oh, it's the weird idiot. And
That's what they tend to do, yeah.
so he's like standing on this thing. All this time, this photographer, this young girl, had been standing there like horrified at this like huge American man heaving up a piece of bread.
Right.
And so all she can muster was I'm sorry, and runs away. She like ran away. And that was how we got introduced to Paris. But that was the first
I
time.
mean, that's
Paris.
a pretty big welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. That was good. Yeah, we sat and ate the rest of the time and didn't get kicked out somehow. So
Well, there
Yeah,
you go.
good for you.
yeah.
So how was the movie received? Are you producer on the movie?
I'm not technically
Okay.
not. I did a lot, but technically not a producer. More sort of just whatever I needed to be to help make it happen. I
Yeah.
was so, but no, I it's the first movie I've ever led.
Yeah.
Solely, and so that was it was. Well, let's see. It was received both very well and very, very poorly. Funny
Okay.
enough, yeah. There were some. There was one review that said this, and I quote: "This movie actually made me hate people with epilepsy."
Oh my God.
Oh.
We were like, "Whoa, okay."
That's very, very intense.
and then there was some issues with some of the content in the film, and you sort of came to find that they are not as, shall we say, progressive
Right.
as
Got it.
America is in some ways. But then in other ways, it was received very well. It was
Yeah.
like one or the other. There was, like 10-star reviews, and they were like, or no, I guess it wasn't because it was 5-star. But anyway, 5-star reviews. I love this film. Like there was a lot of talk about, oh, young Jimmy Fallon was great, and I was like, that's nice. And so I swear to you, I had a guy come up to me after the film, and I did like a Q&A with the cinematographer. Him and I both went. And this gentleman was very engaged in the audience, and he came up to us afterwards, and he said, I'm not going to do the accent, but he said, hey, I hope I hope what I'm about to say doesn't insult you. And I was like, oh God. Because if anybody ever says
Yeah.
that, they're probably going to say something that's like probably going to be considered insulting.
Yeah.
And he goes, you remind me of a young Zac Efron. And I was like, yeah, dude, how dare you? And I was like, that's so sweet. But so a lot of them were like very, very nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let me tell you, this is a crazy story that just happened to us. So we were there during Polish Independence Day.
Oh.
And, which is crazy.
My God. Yeah.
And so the night before Polish Independence Day, we were sitting at a restaurant at night, and there were 5 or 6 guys, very Polish-looking gentlemen. And they had been drinking since we got there, like pretty crazy. And they were a little drunk, shall we say, which is no surprise. And about halfway through the dinner, one of them stands up, like pushes his chair out of the way, and he comes and he stands, like thighs touching like the shoulders of my 2 colleagues that were there with me. And he's like beet red, and he's just breathing, and he's breathing. And we're like, hello, can we help you? He says nothing. And he's like, Finally, one of his buddies at his table gets up and is like, dude, like, come sit down. And what I assume was, dude, come sit down in Polish.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that was really weird. They end their dinner. He does it again. He stands up, does the same thing again. Comes over and he's like, kind of like looking at us like this, all like wide-eyed. Then eventually, like, the wait staff has to come down and like say, hey, you guys got to go. And so we asked, like, what was that about? And they go, well, it's because you're American. And we're like, what about that? And they're like, well, during Polish Independence Day, they don't really tend to like Americans. Never got an answer as to why. Never got an answer as to what he was angry about. But it was totally weird. And then we went to check into the hotel. Could have been nicer. They were like, oh my God, like, we love this. And so it's totally such a weird experience in some ways. But I mean, sometimes travel is that way. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the culture meshing is
Generally,
is
when you
always-
go somewhere else, they don't like Americans.
Yeah.
That's pretty much general rule of
maybe.
thumb. We're just
Yeah.
pretty
Especially
much
now.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to know a little bit more about this movie. Like, so is your first time leading a movie?
Yes.
It's with this stellar cast. Like what? And it's about a difficult subject matter. Like, how did you get yourself into that? Like,
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's one of those stories that's just kind of like, well, yeah, that's Hollywood. So 7 years ago, almost 8, I got done with a show called Mech X4, and it was a Disney show, and I had a really amazing cast member who's now doing really big things. Her name is Alyssa Jarrells, and she was from this place called Sebastopol, which is in Northern California, and the director of the film of Under Lights was from the same place, from Sonoma County, from right there around that area. So he had made this short film. We had no money to do it. And he went out and he reached out to this theater director that he knew in Sebastopol. And he said, hey, do you know anybody who'd be good? I need, 2 really good main characters. And she said, well, the only person I know is this young girl, and she's named Alyssa. She's amazing, but she's doing stuff in Hollywood now. I don't know if she would, do this short film. So Miles, the director, called up Alyssa, sent her this video and this packet of why you should be in this film. And she said yes. And Miles said, hey, we need somebody who's very physical because of the seizures, because the subject matter is epilepsy.
Right.
And so we need someone who's very good at physical acting. Do you know anybody? And blessedly, she said, my friend Pearce would I think be good at this. And so I auditioned for Miles for a short film, which I wasn't really used to doing at that point in my career. And that was back then. And so, but it felt so important. Miles felt so ready to do it that I did. That he said, "You're great," and I was like, "Well, you're great. We have to do it." So we did the short film for no money. It's 11 minutes. Anybody can watch it on YouTube, and it was good. It was all right, because it was made for a credit card and a ham sandwich. And that's about it, right?
Yeah.
And then we said, okay, well, we don't know where this is going to go. We don't know, who's going to take a liking to it, but at least we made something, and we're very proud of it. And it just took off. I mean, it just took off, and people loved it all over the place. And blessedly, people liked it, but who really people liked it who had money. And so we said, well, we've got a feature script, and we were gearing up to do it. We'd had the money, we were ready to go, and COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Done. You can do nothing.
Right.
You remember. Everybody remembers. And then, okay, you know what? We somehow, as a small, because we only did it for what would still be considered a small amount of money for a feature, right?
Yeah.
And okay, we kept the money throughout COVID. Somehow we were able to dodge all of that. We're gonna do it. Writer's strike. Oh, okay. Well, now we're gonna have to readjust who's a part of the crew, but we're still gonna be we're gonna be able to do it. Actor strike.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we're just okay, we'll try to get a waiver.
Yeah.
And just tried for so long, couldn't get it. The day we got the waiver was the day the AMPTP signed with SAG.
Of course.
Which is just hilarious.
Course.
And so, but we did it. We did it finally last year. And it was playing, Sam is my character's name. And Sam is pretty severe epilepsy.
Yeah.
And there's not one type of epilepsy that's really the same for another person. Everybody's could be similar, could be very different, but I don't think I've ever met anybody who has an identical, condition. And so Sam is a culmination of Miles. Miles has epilepsy. He's the writer and director. And then, I don't know, maybe 1,000, more than 1,000 people that I met over the 7 years. I traveled, I believe it was to 12 states.
Wow.
To the chapters of the epilepsy foundations there. I met people with epilepsy, moms, dads, grandparents, uncles, who all had a connection to it, whether they had it or were a caretaker, or were passionate about it in some way. And I would not have been able to do the film without that, because it requires a level of understanding that I'll never have anyway.
Right.
But if I don't have as much as I could possibly fit into my brain, I'm going to make it look stupid or like a caricature. And so it's going to do a disservice to the community. There's a lot of talk in the epilepsy community about how they've been represented in film and TV.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of annoyance because they've largely felt that for many years it's been sort of like a joke, and even if it was a joke, it's not portrayed correctly, because they're not allergic to laughing. You have to laugh, and that's what you really come to find out. But it's but this isn't correct. There's clearly no research done here. It's half correct.
Yeah.
And so it's well, then it's not right, because what we said with the film the whole time is we don't want to educate you. We want to entertain you. If we've educated you, we've failed.
Yeah.
You have to be entertained. That's what a film does. That's why we're making a movie.
Right.
It's a story. And it's got love and kisses and then tragedy and stuff like that. It's a piece of art. But because it is that way, is the medium of cinema, you're supposed to leave going like, oh God, that scene, and now you know something that you didn't anyway, just by proxy, right?
Makes you learn through feeling.
And that is what they were worried wasn't happening in the industry. And so we got this opportunity to make this film. And so in a couple of weeks, well, I guess not a couple. When the heck is December? It's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
December 3rd. Yeah, December 3rd, I'm traveling to Atlanta. And we have an amazing, really, there was one main organization that we couldn't have done this without. And they've asked to remain mostly nameless, and that's okay. But I'm going to their event, and we're very, very pleased because the film only was just finished a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
We're very pleased because there was a lot of worry in their company that like, wow, we've never been involved in filmmaking ever before. We're totally not that kind of company, but we're going to give a fair amount of money to these people to make their project. And so like, it's the big event for this company that happens every year. And they're flying in from like Japan and Belgium and then all around the States as well. And we get to show them what we made and then do like a sort of a presentation. And so I'm very, very much looking forward to that. And
that'll be so
yeah, so that's sort of
exciting.
where that is going.
That's really
right now,
fun. It's really fun to have a project that you're passionate about that was a labor of love and then have it be kind of taken in by these groups and championed by people that are not necessarily in the industry. And that's how you know that your movie is going to get seen and that it's going to mean something to people.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have, people in Hollywood see the movie, but it's another thing to have people outside of Hollywood see a movie, because those are the people that share things,
Yeah, and it's also like fascinating to do something that is so like such a deep dive into a world, right? And like and an experience that you might not have, but you along the way in researching this and you're meeting so many people and learning so much about the world, like just from doing that. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done more for me than you could possibly imagine when you sign on for when I was 14 years old and say, or I guess I was 15, because now I'm 23. So So anyway, almost 8 years, almost 8 years, and so it's just unfathomable.
Well, that's amazing. So we're gonna take a short break.
Yeah,
and we'll be right back.
It is. All right.
More with Pearce right after this.
And we're back.
We're back.
Whoa.
Now we're going to talk about Disney zombies,
please.
But before that, I have a question. So we famously do extraordinarily minimal research on our guests on this podcast. But we did look you up last night, and I saw you were from Durango.
Yes, I'm going back in like 5 days. I'm going back home.
That's unbelievable. I have been to Durango one time.
Shut up! You've been to Durango.
Yes, I have.
Nobody's been to Durango.
During
Where is
COVID,
Durango
when nobody could do anything, my friend and I decided to do a cross-country like national parks road trip because everybody was like inside and we just wanted to be outside and not, interacting with other people and everything.
Yeah.
And so we went to Sand Dunes, the Sand Dunes Park.
Yeah.
And we went from there over to Durango and went through Durango to go up. And I actually saw the town. I got a Mexican Coke there.
Wow.
Very good. Very good. Yes.
Where in the square that is Colorado? Where is it? Denver's on the eastern side.
It's Denver's north, northeastern a bit, yes. And so here's the square.
Yeah.
Denver's here, Kansas is here, Denver's here, Durango's down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like
southwest corner.
Okay.
Oh, we were
southwest
going to
corner.
Mesa Verde.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's like almost Utah, Nevada.
It is literally almost right near the Four Corners. Like it's
copy.
Yeah. So there's the town that I live in now, where I have a tiny little home, is a place called Mancos, and Mancos is maybe 30 minutes west of Durango.
Okay.
And
that's where your family lives, or that's where you live?
that's that's where my dad lives there.
Okay.
And so I still have a home to go back to.
Yeah.
There. But we did live in Durango for for many years. So,
So how did you go from there to Hollywood?
yeah. So my mom is an amazing educator. She's taught at 5 colleges, I think.
Wow.
And so this is all right. Quick story time because I don't want to burn up too much time.
No,
but
it's all good.
I was born in a town called Norwood. Norwood is near Telluride and is a bit farther away from Durango. But it was a town of about 400
all the Chevys,
people.
all the different Chevy cars.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Chevy Norwood. Yes, there is. Is there a Chevy Norwood? There might
No, but there's
be.
Telluride and there's a Durango or Jeep Durango.
Yeah, Dodge Durango.
Dodge Durango.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Dodge.
Yes, I was like Norwood.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Thank you
Thank you,
very much.
everyone.
Let's talk about that.
See you
Anyway,
next time.
Bye-bye.
no, but so anyway, I was born in this really small town. It was 400 people, no traffic lights, dirt roads, nothing. But there was one elementary school, and so my parents were like, "Well, we want to raise him here, country living," and the quick story is they were invited to go to sort of hey, your kid's going to be in school next year. Why don't you come and meet all the parents at the school? It's going to be like a barbecue. And so my parents are like, okay, let's go. They get to the elementary school and nobody's inside. This is like deserted. I'm like, well, this is a bit weird. They see somebody go around the side of the back. They're like, oh, okay. Maybe they're all barbecue. We'll go to the back. Okay, that makes sense. And there's a massive bonfire. They're like, oh wow, no kidding, barbecue. They get a bit closer, and they go, oh, they're burning books.
Oh, fun.
And so my parents said, well, I think maybe we should not raise our child here. And so that is how we moved to Durango. Durango's quite a bit larger. And my mom, being an educator, decided, well, I really want to do something good for this town if we're going to put roots down here, which is funny that she said that. So she opened 3 schools.
Oh my gosh.
One of the highest performing middle schools and now elementary schools in the entire state, Mountain Middle School, is still operating to this day. Anamasai School, still operating to this day. And the Liberty School, another elementary school, she all had a hand in. And she wrote the charter for 2 of them, and she's an amazing educator. And so around about that time, I wasn't old enough to start going to middle school yet, but I was pretty close. My mom wanted to keep me active during the day while, she was working and in town, because I lived with her and my family about 11,000 feet. So like way out of town. I lived like 4,000 feet more than town was, right next to the ski area. So she wanted me in town, is the point. And so she said, hey, how about community theater? It was a tiny little community theater. They're called Durango Art Center, otherwise known as DAC. And so I started out pretty young, right after we moved there. Like I was like 5 years old, and I did like Frog and Toad, and I loved it so much. And then I just kept going. I did A Christmas Story, and then James and the Giant Peach, so on and so forth. And eventually, I got around about 9 years old, and I auditioned for Annie and for like Daddy Warbucks.
Right.
And it's no real great like male characters in Annie that are sort of fun
unless
to
you're an
play.
adult.
Yes, exactly, right. And so it's like, well, all right, like, the kids' production of Annie, I guess I'll audition for like Daddy Warbucks, whatever. And I was like, I don't really want it. Like, I'd rather like play Annie herself or like not really do it, because I'm super big into like, and
Now I would pay to see.
Yes.
Well, here's the story. Was they said, well, we can't cast him as Annie, but how about as Hannigan?
Oh
And
my god.
so my mom was like, well, let's see what he says. And so I was like, of course, absolutely. And it was a great innocence, because there was, being a kid, there was not as much attached to it being in like lipstick and a wig, and then there were some people who didn't like that very much in the town. But anyway, screw them, whatever. Because it was amazing for me, and it really opened my eyes. So I remember going kind of to my parents after doing that performance and sort of being a little bit more conscious as like somebody who really likes art. And I was like, listen, my dad, big lover of movies. I'm always watching movies with my dad. I watch kids in those movies, like people my age in those movies.
Right.
Why can't I do that? There must be doing it on the set. They must be filming.
Yeah.
So why
Of
can't I
course.
do that? And so I begged my parents for 2 years. And finally, my mom said, oh God, stop, shut up. If I put you in for this commercial, it was a Hewlett-Packard commercial. And it was like this national search. It was just send in your headshot and your resume, and then they'll decide who they like. You have to. I'll put you in for it, but you have to make a deal with me. If you don't get it, you never talk about acting again. And I was
my
like,
goodness.
no problem. And she was like, got him, and then they called. a couple days later. And
Of
they
course.
said, we love your kid.
Of course,
And that's just how it
because of
goes.
course.
And my mom said, oh, fuck. And that was it. I went up to Oakland. I did that, commercial that never saw the light of day. But, what doesn't matter because after that, I was like, Mom, I'm a real actor. We're going to LA.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, we'll go to LA. And then the next thing that pushed it over the edge was there used to be this bookstore called Samuel French. It still exists
Of course.
online, but
They sell plays.
yes, okay, yeah, and they might still sell this. I don't know if they do, but back in the day, they used to sell Samuel French's Guide to Agents, and they used to list actual phone numbers of agents in their book.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if they still sell it, but my mom went into what was at the time the store in West Hollywood, bought the book, and there was an agent, and they listed a number for the agency in there. She cold called.
Wow.
And it was crazy story. The cell phone number of the owner of the agency. Don't know how they got it. How did it get in the book? I don't know. But it's just like, hello?
Yeah.
And my mom was like, hello, like this is Nancy. My mom's saying, this is Nancy. I'm calling because you're in this book and I'm calling to see if I can maybe set up an arrangement for my son. And this was like more than a decade ago now.
Right.
Yeah.
When this stuff still happened. And she said, my name is so-and-so. I own the agency. How the hell did you get this number? And my mom was like, I'm looking at it in a book right now. She's like, I'll have to mark that down. And my mom's like, okay. She goes, well, you got me on the phone. What's your kid's name? And that was how that happened. That's how I got my first agent. And
That's a very Hollywood story.
Yeah. And so in regards to zombies, I did Lab Rats was the first thing I ever did for Disney.
Okay.
And there was a amazing casting director who I believe still is working, but maybe a lot less. His name was Howard Meltzer.
Okay.
And he just took a liking to me and saw something in me and kept bringing me back despite, maybe other people being like, he's literally never done anything. Like, how is he going to play like this new, main character on the farewell season for Lab Rats? And he's like, he's going to be great. And so I went back, I did Lab Rats, and I got it, and I was actually with a different agent at this time. I'd moved on, longer story, but had been sort of handed off in a very ceremonious way. And there was an individual who was an intern in their office who forgot to tell me that I booked the part for Lab Rats. And so I got a call from, I believe it was from the UPM. My mom got a call and said, hey, like, where are you? Like, you were supposed to be on set 4 hours ago. And
You didn't
my
even
mom
know
was
you
like,
had a
who? Like, my mom's from Jersey. She's like,
Right.
who is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the heck are you talking about? And she's like, I'm the UPM for. She goes, ooh, okay. She's like, if you're not here, like you will be recapped. You're fired. And I'm like, oh my god. So we rushed down there, and I remember being so like my head was all over the place. I was like, I can't act. Like I was.
Right, you didn't
30
get
minutes
to-
ago, I was in Pasadena, and now I'm at Sunset Gower in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally.
You didn't even get to process
Not even-
that you
not even
booked
at all.
the show.
And so, but I did it, and I did like 4 or 5 episodes of it, and it was sort of like the season, the series finale was, my character was a part of, and so anyway, so that's how I started with Disney, and then from that I got Mech X4, and that ended after 2 seasons, and I was sort of like, well, okay, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'm sort of in that like awkward age. I'm like 15 years old. I'm like looking sort of handsome, but then also you're like, no, you're still 5'6", and and so you don't really know what's
Very
going on.
handsome,
And so
very
I hit
handsome.
a massive growth spurt, and right after that happened, I just done a couple episodes on a show in Utah. In Salt Lake, and I'd come back and like I had this like really crazy breakup with this girlfriend I had at the time, and I remember being like it was like my life's like flying out of control, like I don't know what's going on. And then,
to be a teenager.
no, I literally it's like everything is so intense all the time.
Yeah.
And there I got 2 auditions came through. One was for a big basketball show, and I was like I want to do that, so I could love basketball. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then one was for a musical for Disney.
Right, of course.
And I said no. I said I'm not going to audition for that. Like I can't dance and I can't
Yeah.
sing. And they said okay. And like I did the audition for the basketball show. I got really far along, and I remember I was in like the chemistry reads, and then I got like they were like, hey, we want to like talk to you one-on-one with the director. I don't know what happened, but it like is almost as if a ghost like entered my body and I completely bombed it. Don't know what happened. And they were like, I could see in their eyes, they were like, get this guy out of here. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's that. And I
Was it a Disney basketball?
It was not totally
Okay.
not Disney. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. And I guess I just turned 16 because I just got my driver's license. I remember sitting in like my mom's car because I'd driven alone to the thing, and I was like, wow, like what the heck? And I got a call from my manager who was like, okay, so kind of lied to you, and I said that you would do the audition for this other thing. And I was like, oh no, like I can't, I literally can't dance. And the reason I said no initially was because Disney said, okay, part of what we need is we need you to choreograph 60 seconds
Oh.
of a dance to this specific song, and you need to send it in. Now let me tell you, I have actually penned a letter and asked Disney, please don't ever let that be like, because you know how sometimes they're like, oh hey, look at that. I'm
yes,
like,
of course.
please don't let that see the light of day.
The original cast review
Yes,
audition
yes.
tapes release.
It is so bad. And I worked 12 hours on it. I remember I showed up at this place, like the studio, and I like rented it out for like nothing because it was like an off day for them or whatever. Maybe like $100. And I tried all day, and finally I put something together, and it's terrible. It's awful. But they called me back, and then but then it was like you sent in a self tape, and then it was like, okay, you're gonna meet Meg, and you're gonna do a chemistry with her, and then. So I got into this audition room, and they were like, hey, so you ready to sing? And I was like, sing? And they're like, yeah, you remember? Yeah, I remember that. And they were like, well, yeah, like, wasn't it passed on to you that you had to prepare a song? And I was like, it was not.
A lot of people are not passing things on to you.
No, bro, I had that exact
you had
thought.
to get some new people.
I swear I had that exact thought. And so I thought, well, okay, what do I know off the top of my head? And because they asked, like, they're like, do you have anything? And I was like, you guys know In My Feelings by Drake?
Oh, no.
Totally true story. In front of Amber Horn and Gary Marsh.
Oh my
course.
God.
Yeah, and all these people, I said, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? So you'll never ever leave from beside me.
They love that stuff, though.
It like shut
It was
the
a
place
hit.
down. They were loving
Hit.
it. It was another like stroke of luck.
They will go for personality over
Yes,
anything.
absolutely.
Which is great because that's
Yep.
what they want.
Yes,
You know.
Yeah.
100%. So I got brought back, and then actually that was when I did the chemistry with Meg on the third of 5 auditions, and
Oh my gosh.
that was really intense because again, when you used to do in-person stuff,
Yeah.
and I guess there is still some of this, but it's really not to the same level as it was. You know, you're sitting there with all the people you're competing against.
Yep.
Everybody's talking to each other. Some people are getting let go. Some people are getting called back.
And everyone's talking about all the stuff they've done.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course,
All the
of course,
people that
yes.
they know.
Oh, yes,
It's very
of course,
like,
of course.
ugh.
Yes. So that one I did have a song prepared for. I worked really hard on it, and it was a snippet of "Shallow" from A Star Is Born, and I kind of remember being like, okay, like if I'm not let go, and I know I'll have to sing. I wasn't let go, and I knew I'd have to sing, and so I sort of went like mute. And I remember just sitting there like this, and I was getting myself mentally prepared for like, okay, well, I've never really sang like this before, like ever. Like I've sang Little Girls, but that was for 5 years ago in a little production of Annie, and that's really all I've done. And I was like, I just have to try 100% because otherwise, like, I can't like fake it halfway. Like I'm not that good nowadays. Maybe I could do that. But so I went in there and I absolutely let it rip in front of everybody, in front of Meg herself, like the goddess of singing.
Wow.
I think I did a really good job, and it was a moment that I'll always remember about being very proud of myself for. And I got back into the car because I'd driven myself, and I had missed a note that my mom had wrote for me and snuck in the car.
Aww.
And I was like, oh no, like I was supposed to read this beforehand. And it said, pressure makes diamonds. And so, but I was like,
very sweet.
yeah, but I was like,
Your mom sounds
she's just the
woman.
best, the best. And so anyway, so a couple weeks go by and I hear nothing. And I was like, wow, I didn't get it. Like that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was studying for the SAT because at that point in my life, I was kind of like, well, I guess I'm going to have to make the decision to probably go to college, in the next year and a half. And then it was Zombies, and then that was that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, where did you film the second movie?
Both Toronto.
They're both Toronto.
No, excuse me. Yeah, well, the second movie was also in Toronto. Like Zombies 2 Was in Toronto, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the third one was in.
Was
Toronto.
also in Toronto.
But
yes.
the first one was not, or they were. Or
They
all
the
were?
first one was in Toronto, but the fourth one they shot in like New Zealand.
Yeah,
Yes.
New Zealand.
So
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't realize that. They were all in Toronto,
Yeah.
and Paul Hohen did all of them.
Yes,
right?
he did. Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
he
Every
did-
single one.
Yeah.
That's
which
awesome.
Which is
He-
totally
he did
crazy.
a few episodes of High School Musical, like maybe 4 episodes.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He did the episode where I had my song "Red Means Love" that was in season 2.
Yeah.
I think all his episodes were season 2. I don't remember if he did another season, but yeah, he's great.
No. he's the best,
Disney
yeah.
loves him.
Well, and
like,
he's been. What did he do? Didn't he do Camp Rock as well?
he did Camp Rock 2.
Camp
I
Rock
think.
2? Yeah.
Maybe he did Camp Rock 3 also. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure.
But
Yeah.
he delivers. You know what I mean? Like
Every
he gets
single
that
time.
movie done.
Yep.
You know, which is
Yeah.
what they want.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
and I mean, what were your favorite things? Like, you fly to Toronto
Yeah.
and
Well,
you
I got
start.
pneumonia.
my gosh.
Like when I touched down.
Oh my god.
You have a lot of stories about things happening when you go to do something.
Yeah. And so, once again, not really being a singer at the time.
Right.
The way the zombies movies work are you rehearse for like a month or two beforehand.
Yes.
And while you're rehearsing, you are recording the songs,
Right.
at sort of at the same time. And so Wyatt was quite a big part of Zombies 2. And so I was like, well, you better not screw up Call to the Wild.
Yeah.
And so there was this, this high G. I should almost print it out and put it on my wall or something. And I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. I was struggling even in rehearsals and stuff. I was like, I can't get this high G. And then I got freaking pneumonia. And there was this amazing vocal coach, and it was the day that I was supposed to record Call to the Wild, and he was like, "Hey man, you ready to hit that high G?" I was like, I'm great. And I remember I literally said, he was very like unabashed. He just told you what he thought all the time, and he goes, "Oh no," and I got in the room and. I was just like, there was no nervousness anymore because I was like, I'm
Right.
totally screwed, and I hit the high G because I wasn't nervous.
That's what happens.
And so
when you let it go.
that was an amazing experience. But really, my favorite part of all the zombies, the movies, the show that we've done, the animated show
Yeah, right.
that we've done.
Yeah.
On top of it, the specials that we've done at Disney World and all that stuff is because I still have like friends that I'll just like pretty much have for forever.
Right.
I used to live with Matt Cornett now.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's since, I know you
Used to
want
live
we
with
wanted to
Matt
talk
Cornett.
about that, but Matt, and I text him and call him all the time, and he's just like, yeah, he's one of my best friends. Meg, without her, like she's seen me go through so much in my life, that's amazing. And because of her, I have a really great friend, her boyfriend currently, Drake Roger, an
Okay.
amazing actor in and of himself, has come to be super important, in my life in the past year. And so it's shaped pretty much everything. It's kept the lights on.
Yeah.
And so it's
Well, you guys,
been
the,
such a blessing.
the zombies like crew was always very tight. Like, okay, because for people who don't know about this, the Disney casts do kind of know each other.
Yeah.
But they're like different teams almost. Like we
Yeah.
were like the High School Musical, the series like group, and
Yeah.
you guys were like the zombies team, and there's like the Descendants people. But you guys are always like very tight. Like one time we all went to Disneyland together.
Yes, I remember that. Of course. Well, was that what you mean during D23?
Yeah, when it was D23, we got
absolutely.
the two of our shows got grouped together at a big Disneyland day.
100%. Yes. And also we were lucky to have Matt in our cast, and then Meg was on your show for the final season. I think was it last season or the second to last
third
season?
season,
Second to last season. Excuse me. So we're definitely tightest with your crew.
Yeah.
But yes, everybody knows each other. I mean, everybody like sort of meets each other at is it like mixers or somebody's
Premiere
event or
events,
premieres or
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody knows each other. But like I said, without zombies, I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I would still be acting. Maybe I would.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be a different story.
Yeah.
But I know this one because it happened. And
Yeah, of course.
And it is something that I still wake up every day, and there's something related to zombies. So
Yeah,
really lucky with
I
that.
get it. And now to say there's going to be maybe a fifth one.
There is going to be maybe a fifth one. Well,
So.
I don't know if that's 100% confirmed, but I have seen some whisperings,
Some rumblings.
some
Yes.
rumblings, and so we kind of can guess what rumblings mean.
So it's still happening, which
it is still it
amazing.
is the gift
Now-
that keeps on giving.
Now tell me about the animated show because I haven't
Yeah.
seen the animated. We watched all the movies.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the
So
animated.
the animated show is man, I suggest you watch. Like seriously, just
It's
on
fun.
like on a personal level,
Yeah.
just watch. It's so funny. Season 2 hasn't come out yet. That comes
Okay.
out next year. But season 1, this is such a crazy story. So I almost passed away, like from a thing. I know. I could keep going, but
You have so
yeah,
many-
from like
you have
a
so
from
many
like
crazy
a
life
from like
stories.
a pretty bad injury, and a really long story. Definitely not for this podcast, but suffice to say that I was very, very sick.
Yeah.
I was like in the hospital 11 times.
Oh my gosh.
And it was really crazy. And I was actually living with Matt. Matt was the first person who took me to the hospital for the very first time ever.
Oh my gosh.
In his Camaro. And
course.
I remember this is
Lightning McQueen.
This is yes, Lightning McQueen. And this is hilarious now thinking about this. But I remember going to Matt. I had this thing happen to me, and we were at the movies. And part of what was so scary about it was related to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's something actually Josh Bassett and I have talked, ad nauseum about.
Yeah.
You know? And so, I was really worried about my heart. And so I grabbed Matt on the shoulder, and I kid you not, this is what I said to him. I looked him in the eyes and said, Matt, this is it. And so, but I was so convinced, like I was going down for good. So anyway, I had this thing happen to me. And so, during that time that I was really sick, I was back living in North Carolina with my mom.
Okay.
And where she lives. And so I had to have her take care of me. So I was having trouble walking. I was having trouble seeing. A lot of terrible things. But Disney was like, hey, we've got this like animated series we're recording. We'd love to for you to come into the studios in Burbank. And I was like, well, I'm not even anywhere close. And they kind of moved heaven and earth to make me a part of it.
That's
nice.
amazing.
And it was singing in it, and there was a different team of writers, completely different team of writers, and so it has a very different vibe to it.
Yeah.
But not something that's on zombies. So I really, if people haven't seen it, I really suggest you watch it. It's so good. It airs like every day, pretty much on the channel, and it's it's on like Disney Now. It's on Disney Plus.
Right.
And so I was recording these episodes in this tiny little recording studio in this dude's garage in North Carolina.
Aw.
And I was really not well at the time.
Yeah.
But it was something I look forward to, and something that among many things got me through it.
Yeah. And
Got me
those
through what happened
lines
to me.
made it into the show.
What's that?
Those lines made it into the show.
Yes,
like,
yes,
Like
they
it's
absolutely
it's
did,
ever
yes.
crazy you watch it and you're like, wow, I recorded that in North Carolina. Like,
Dude. And I've watched the whole first
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to think back on. And I do group it into zombies in general, so it feels like such a whale in a good way. Just like wow, like start to, and it's not even really finished.
Sure.
It's just crazy to think about. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Okay, do you have a favorite like musical number from the movies that you did?
Yeah, I mean, Call to the Wild for sure.
Okay.
Just because it was sort of Wyatt's song, like his one
Right.
real. It's
And that's
his
like
song.
the intro to the werewolves,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes.
Right.
Yes, I do think that We Own the Night actually comes before that point, but
Okay.
there was a lot more werewolves in Call to the Wild because we had some logistical issues for We Own the Night with the location we were at.
Okay.
So we couldn't we couldn't fit in frame. Like there was issues with framing.
Huh.
Like Paul was like, I want all this stuff, and because he is going to make it happen, he was like, okay, well, we have to cut things that
Yeah.
we were initially going to do. So there was a lot of more werewolves in this one because it was a set that was built. And I remember I was a terrible dancer as well at the time, and so I was working really hard on trying to not look like an idiot. And so there's my version is my favorite is because there's one move at the very end of Wyatt's main part in it. So the first really after the first two verses, there where he does this sort of like double like step dance foot move. I don't even know what it's really called, but it was sort of, it's not very complicated now looking back on it, but it was like climbing Mount Everest to me.
Yeah.
And we shot it like 7 times, and on the 7th time I couldn't get it.
Aw.
And there was one of the amazing choreographers named Alicia Lucchese came up, and she was like, dude, relax, you've got it.
Yeah.
And on the 8th take I got it, and it was another like amazing moment. And then that was literally, it was like, okay, we're wrapped for the day, everybody go home, because like we're in overtime because Pearce couldn't get the thing right. And so it was it just felt like another like amazing success in my life, because while there's one thing to get the part, it's another thing to like make it in the final film. So yeah.
That is a crazy thing about like doing film and TV work, like on camera, is like you like work so hard to get something, and then you get it, and they're like, great, moving on. Like you don't ever get to really like revel in until you watch it, But and then you get to revel in it forever. But like on the day of, like you don't really get to like be like, yes, I did the thing. Yeah. Because everyone's just kind of like, all right. Like I remember we did Red Means Love. Yeah. And I was so proud of like all of the, the big set that they built and all of the choreography. And we were like done with the day. And I was like, wow, taking it all in. And they were like, you gotta go. Like we gotta like turn the lights off and go home.
I mean, it's the same on all TV. Like when I was doing Drag Race, like, you'd have such like a moment, that was like, oh my God, but then it's like, okay, let's go. We're on to the next thing, get them on the runway, So it's always like that with TV.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Yeah. Lab Rats is actually a good example of that, because you know how it started now, which was basically like, what the hell? Where are you?
Right.
And then it ended, at least the first episode, I guess, and it was a multicam show.
Yeah.
And that, especially back then, used to be shot like very differently, very like Big Bang Theory-ish, if anybody's a big fan of that. Just like 4 days of rehearsal, 5th day, you shoot everything.
Yeah.
The entire episode, you do it in one day.
Yeah.
And
Wizards Beyond does that now.
Yeah, does
too.
it? They do the same. Okay, yes. And so it's a very different style, and wow, it's definitely very different. So, and I remember, because I was like kind of like flying by the seat of my pants the whole time, we wrapped that first episode, and I didn't know if I was coming back for another episode, especially because I was like, well, I kind of screwed up, because even though it wasn't really my fault, it is my fault. And so I was kind of just like, I remember walking off the studio lot, and because they were like, okay, we're wrapped for the day, like everybody, you got to go, especially because you're a kid and you got to leave.
Yeah, you got to go.
You can't work, like the adults. And so I was like, they were like, I think they said something about like, you have to step foot off the lot, like off property, and then you do whatever you want. But and I was like standing on the sidewalk, kind of looking at the gate that I just come out of, and I was like, well, I haven't even been going to process that. But thankfully, I was in the rest of the season. So, and that was great. But yeah.
So what would be like your dream role? Like what do you really want to accomplish?
God. Okay. Well, it's actually that answer has changed sort of over the past couple of months. I've had a couple things come by my way, and I just finished shooting the first thing that I've ever produced, and we have all of the footage now, which is kind of crazy to think about, because it's like you put something together, you work on writing the script, and you're just like, well, like this is great and all, but like we got to like shoot the dang thing. But we did it. It's called Native Sin, and it's sort of a horror comedy, and it's a proof of concept, and we're gonna shop it around as you do, as you always try to do, and then there's another project right now. It's called you know what? It's not for me to be able to say the name of, but it's with a good friend of mine, and it has now all of a sudden, again, it's sort of like, well, this has legs. And it didn't for the past year, and so I've been stepping more into the producing world, but as an actor, there's two answers. Number one, there is a book, and it is called I Hunt Killers by a guy named Barry Lyga. And Disney owns the rights to it. I know because I wrote them a letter. I wrote another letter. And I said, it's about this kid who I could play. He's like 18 years old. He's a senior in high school. He's graduating high school. And it's a fictional world wherein his father is the most famous serial killer of all time. And is still alive. And he is serving like multiple life sentences because the government wants to extract information out of him, because there's a network of serial killers that he's a part of.
Kind of like what is that NBC or CBS show, the Blacklist?
The Blacklist.
Yes.
A little bit like that.
Very similar in that way. Exactly.
Or like Silence of the Lambs.
Yes. And so the main character, his name is Jasper. Jasper sort of is dealing with being, I think he's like 17 and a half when the first book, there's 3 books, when the first book starts. And he's dealing with like child protective services coming around and being like, you got to go into a foster home. And he's like pushing them off, hiding away from them, all while he's so interested in hunting killers, especially those who are part of his father's network. And like the first book, you're like, oh, this is a kind of a YA novel, sort of like, ooh, a little dark, a little spooky, but it's got some like, it's not too intense. And then the next 2 books are like up, and it's totally cerebral, intense. Takes you places that you are totally not expecting, and Disney owns the rights. I think ABC technically owns the rights or whatever.
I can see it as an ABC
and
show.
So,
ABC, what are we doing here? Let's go.
I know, please. And so I have been wanting to do that ever since I read those books. I think they're great, and I think that the concept is amazing, very original, and something that not really on TV like I've seen. So that's great. And then the other answer is, and I know this is like pretty much dying right now, but a Western, because it's from where I'm from, and I've been really always connected with the Colorado. And
you could bring back the Western.
I could. I know. Kevin Costner tried to. I love what he did.
Yellowstone is huge.
I know Yellowstone was huge, and so it's not. You're right. It's not dead by any means, but there's a script that I have read that is called literally Colorado, and. It is something that I really want to make, and so it's very Sergio Leone with like the Man with No Name, which is of course the trilogy of Clint Eastwood's what made him. So, Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and so it's got a lot of the amazing things in it that made that amazing while being an original story. I will say one of my favorite books, which is a Western, is called Flint. Is being made into a movie as we speak.
Wow.
And Louis L'Amour, the guy who wrote the book, who's passed on for many years now, finally Flint got made. It was one of his best and biggest books.
Wow.
And I was so uptight that there were no characters that were like under 40 years old, and so I was like, there was no way I was ever gonna be a part of that. But so I guess I shouldn't say that it's dying, because I guess you know what, you can never kill a cowboy. That's what they say. So anyway,
well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you
Pearce.
for having me, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on the streets. I kind of wander around
the streets of Burbank.
Yeah, the Burbank. Just my first name, last name, Pearce Joza. On everything, pretty much. Including Threads, if people still use that.
Okay, Threads.
Absolutely.
Okay, Threads.
No. I have the Threads.
Threads is still going.
Yeah, I have the Threads.
Yeah.
Well, you can find us not on Threads, but but on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Let's Talk About That Pod.
And you could send us an email at letstalkaboutthatpod@gmail.com.
Hello.
So
okay. Well, thank you, Pearce.
Thank you. Until next time.
Until Zombies 5.
Yes, until Zombies 5.
Yeah.
Guys, thank
Until
you.
the Zombies 5 premiere.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you next week
Bye,
on
everybody.
Let's Talk About That. Bye.
Bye.